I really believe that there is an attack on godly families, and I don't understand it, but I do know that God is aware. And because He is aware, He could be just waiting for us to stand up, call it out, bring it forth, and make the decision to sacrifice, to battle against what the enemy might be trying to do to prohibit the increase of the family of God and godly mom and dads who want desperately to have children. And having studied men and women for the last 10 plus years, I know in my core that the original identity of women was to be mothers. And what women do the most is multiply. So when the enemy comes forward and convinces her that there's something wrong with her and tries to bring forth all this guilt that is so unfounded and the shame that is so unfounded, it makes me want to stand up and fight against that as not just a mom and a grandmother and a wife, but as a woman. So for the women out there who are created to reproduce and mother, whether it's spiritually or physically, those women out there need to know that they're not alone and that God is with them. And even when it's hard to understand it, it is important for us to continue to pick up the sword of the Spirit and fight toward what the enemy is trying to convince these women is true about them, because it's not true. And so the shame and the guilt and the questions and the confusion and the chaos that come from this, I'm just going to say, horrific attack against women is something that I can't sit down for. And the fact that it's affected our family is very true and very great. And I value that, and I'm in a way thankful for that. But I want to fight against it for the kingdom of God, for the bride of Christ, and for the women who are called to be mothers of any kind, and to fight against the lies that come with this disappointment, and to help them not stay in a position of despair, because that is the opposite of what they were created for, and that is the opposite of what the Lord has for them. So help them by supporting a ministry that has the pureness of heart and the dedication and the persistence that will continue to move this thing forward. Because if our culture continues the way it has been, this thing that is already epidemic will only multiply and grow. And I believe it breaks God's heart. So help us if you can.